Hi, and welcome to Cooking with the GastroNerd. Today's topic, vinaigrettes. Store-bought salad dressings are loaded with high fructose corn syrup, tapioca starch, cornstarch, preservatives, all things you don't want to eat, and you shouldn't, so don't. Stop buying them and start making them yourself. They're really easy, and after today, you'll never go back. To make a vinaigrette, you need two basic things, an acid and an oil. An acid can be a vinegar, white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar. It really runs the gamut. Or a citrus. I'm quite partial to lemons. In fact, you should have a lemon in your fridge right now. They're incredibly versatile for all cooking purposes and naturally lead themselves to delicious beverages. Have you ever tried a French 75? Anyway, go out and buy one if you don't. Of course, we also have oranges and grapefruits among the citrus family. On the oil side, we have your classic olive oil, extra virgin please, loaded with antioxidants and other wonderful nutrients, but with a distinct olive oil taste, or something more neutral. Maybe you have some grapeseed oil, canola oil, also wonderful. So, generally, oils and acids work in a ratio of 1 part acid to 3 parts oil, if it's a stronger acid like a vinegar, or 1 part acid to 2 parts oil if it's a weaker acid like a citrus. And naturally, you can adjust this ratio to your own taste preferences. I happen to like acidic dressings. You might like a mild one. I lived with a family in Italy and they would just use olive oil and salt on their salad. A little bland for me, but hey, it worked for them. So to start us off with a very basic vinaigrette, going back to my favorite citrus, lemon, we're going to make a lemon vinaigrette. Lemon, olive oil, salt, pepper. That's it. So to start, you're going to need some lemon juice. Have a fresh lemon. It'll make a world of a difference. Now to squeeze your lemon, you don't need a citrus juicer. All you need is a fork in your hand. So just take your cut lemon and basically you're just going to squeeze, get some nice juice out of there. You know, you might get some pits, not a big deal. Pick it out with your hands, or if you have a little strainer, this little guy comes in handy a lot. Just pour it through. I didn't measure that, we're doing this just to taste. We're being creative here. So, acid first. Always acid first. Acid, some salt. Salt is very important in your salad. A salad without salt is not a salad because the word salad itself derives from the word salt. So remember that. And I am quite partial to pepper. If you're going to go pepper, have it freshly grated. Just a little bit in there. And then our oil. For this, since it's so simple, I'm going to let a nice olive oil come into the picture. And just slightly. This is we're just forming a temporary emulsion here. So as you can see, it's never going to quite come together. You're going to whisk it right before. Then it'll bind, but it will separate again eventually. Because there's no binding agent. So, I can taste it like that. It tastes just great, but the best way to try your vinaigrette is on salad. Because we're going to eat it on lettuce. So dip a little bit in there. Works for me. You can always add a little more acid, a little more oil, a little more salt, depending on your preference. So, that's our basic one. Taking it a step further, we're going to go with a more classic French vinaigrette. I lived with a family in France who always made their vinaigrette directly into the bowl. So, being French, we are going to use moutarde, mustard. Beauty of mustard is it is an emulsifier, meaning it is a binding agent for your dressing. It's going to help marry the acid and the fat, or oil, together. So, here I have some whole grain mustard. You can use any sort of Dijon, honey mustard, horseradish mustard. Go crazy. And naturally, the mustard you choose will affect the flavor. my salt, pepper, and here, and while we can go and add vinegar right now, I'm going to add a little bit of shallot for kick. This is just some chopped shallot, just a little bit. It's raw, so it'll be strong. You could also grate a clove of garlic into it. It will add a pungency that is absolutely delicious, but it is indeed pungent. If you don't want the actual raw shallot or garlic in there, you can always let it marinate in your vinegar for about 15 or 20 minutes and then remove it before you actually make the vinaigrette. So here I go, I'm going to add my vinegar, just a little bit to coat the bottom, and I want a little sweet here, so I'm going to add some honey. Honey, sugar, both work. Honey I think is a little bit more complex. Sugar's a bit more neutral flavor, but still I'm going to pick a neutral honey because honey does have a wide range of flavors. So here I have my handy whisk. I'll whisk that all together. And then, because these are pretty robust flavors, I'm going to go with a more neutral oil. I'm going to pick grapeseed. So I'm going to slowly whisk that in. And I told you, I like a more acidic dressing, so I'm going to go lighter on the oil. So really, you're just going to, you can see here, really let that combine. So, as you can see, boom, we have an emulsion. Now, thanks to our friends mustard and honey, that was a lot easier and it'll stick together better. If you add the acid later or you add too much oil at once, you could break your dressing. It's not going to be pretty and it'll kind of have a greasier flavor to it. It won't be the end of the world, but try to avoid it. So, now for tasting time. Woo! A little spicy, a little sweet. It's fun. So now to dress the salad, and take my beautiful greens, and have fun with your greens too. Don't go with the same type of lettuce every time. Spice it up, maybe arugula today, spinach tomorrow, mix them together. So notice I'm using my favorite tool in the kitchen, my hand. You can use, if you're more comfortable using spoons, this is more efficient, though you better wash it first, or ideally, if you have a glove, that's great. So, mixing my lettuce and my salad, and see, it just lovely coats the bowl. And of course, you can decide, maybe you like a really heavily dressed salad, or a lightly dressed salad. So you can always take out some of that vinaigrette before you add the lettuce, just in case. Because you can always dress the salad more, but you can't undress it. Maybe you have to buy it a few drinks, I don't know. And of course, taste it again. Works for me, perfectly acidic. That salt's there, it's bringing out the flavor. Oftentimes, you can continue to add salt to adjust. Salt is your friend in moderation. And there we have it. So just a quick recap. We made 2 vinaigrettes, a simple lemon and olive oil, salt and pepper, and a more classic French with a Dijon base, mustard base, and then our red wine vinegar and grapeseed oil. We threw in some shallots and honey to make it exciting. It's your choice whether you want them or not. And from there you can play with so many different flavor combinations. The sky is the limit. So, I hope you are never buying a dressing in a store again. You have no excuse not to now. Well, enjoy your salads and tune in till next time with the Gastro Nerd.